So this is the project we're going to be trying to get done this winter. We're going to see how far we get it, but this is a 1984 Monte Carlo SS that's been sitting up in the weeds for the last, I don't know, 10-12 years, something like that. Looking at the passenger side here, you can see it doesn't look bad at all, rust wise, for sitting in the weeds for 10 plus years. It hasn't been started for 17 years, but it's been sitting in the weeds for the past 10. You can see back here on the quarter panel, it's got that dent, and then down by that light, you can see some rust starting to come through there. And then up in the wheel well, you can see the frame kind of. The frame doesn't look super bad from what I can tell. Haven't really crawled underneath of it to give it a once over, but down here in this little, like, behind the door there, you can see some rust coming through. Some paint starting to peel away. It's bubbling bottom of the door right there. And then the rocker panels actually look, you know, not bad. There's some mud on them and stuff, but rockers aren't bad at all. So, and then the bottom of the door, there's a little bit of rust right there. But for the most part, this does not look bad at all. Let's take a look on the inside. So on the inside, you can look down here at the inner rockers. The back of the door is here. Down through here, you can see, you know, for sitting for 17 years and sitting in a field with the grass growing around it and stuff for 10 or 11 years, you would think that it would be worse than that, but it's not. It's a lot of dirt, but you don't see hardly any rust at all on this thing. The interior, this is the door here. Doesn't look bad at all. If we go down across, it's hard to believe this thing's been sitting for as long as it is. Now naturally you've got some animals in here, so that's a little bit nasty. And then the dash itself, you know, missing a radio. It's got a 4-speed in it, which is not stock for an 84 Monte Carlo. That was put in aftermarket. And the dash itself doesn't look extremely bad. The seats look really good. Front seats here. If we go to the back seats look really good. We go to the upholstery up on the roof, and it was redone, but still in really good shape. So I'm really surprised with the setting, with the animals getting in here, the rats, the squirrels and stuff like that, or whatever was in here, that it's not worse than what it is. But the interior is going to need some work. I imagine the floor pans underneath this, once I pull the carpet out, we'll have to see how bad that is, because I imagine that sitting out, we might need to replace some stuff. Definitely going to replace the carpet. But I think if we pull the seats out, and the dash up here has got a big crack in it, so we might have to replace the dash. You can see the big crack there. Other than that, I think there's a crack over, you can't really see it, but there's a crack like right there in front of the steering wheel. But other than that, the dash is pretty good. Well, it's got a couple cracks in it, I guess. Maybe not as good as I thought it was. But we might have to get a new dash. We'll have to see how that goes. But what I was saying, interior-wise, this thing isn't too stinking bad. So we come up through, it's got these Krager wheels on it, which are definitely going to have to be replaced. Flat tires are all dry rotted, they won't even hold air. But these wheels, probably back in the day, were the thing to have, but you know, all 4 of them are definitely getting replaced on that. Front fenders on this thing are not bad at all. So scratch there. I don't think the front fenders are really known for rusting out though, and they're probably pretty easy to get. Hood looks alright. Get to the front nose piece. Front nose piece has been used. I mean, you can see weather cracks and stuff in it, in the paint and stuff. But overall, there's no cracks in the actual plastic at all that I've seen. We'll see what happens as we tear into it a little bit. Come over to the driver's side over here, and we got, again, the front fender. Not really known for rusting out, so that's not really an issue. And we come over here and look at the rockers on this side. We can definitely see some rust coming through on these rockers. So the driver's side is definitely worse. So that'll be a rocker change probably on this side. And you can see that there. A lot of that's dirt though. A lot of the stuff here is just dirt that'll come off, but you can definitely see rust right there coming through. And up at the front, you got a spot of rust right here on the door. but the doors itself don't look too bad. Come in here, and we're going to look at these inner rockers. And you can see a hole here where we got some rust. This is just dirt here. Got a spot here that has some rust on it. And then up at the front, this is where we got some problems. We got a nice big hole there. This is all rusted out there. So the doors are going to have to come off of this thing. At least this side anyways, to fix this. And then down in here, it's pretty bad. Again, the door panel, nothing to complain about on the door panel at all. Door panel looks really good. From the driver's side over here, again, just nasty carpet. But the dash and stuff doesn't look bad at all. And I'm getting glare from the sun here. So we'll try to make this happen here for us. So that's the interior. Back on this back of the door here, that looks pretty stinking good for the most part, except down here in the bottom. And then we come to the outside. This is the worst spot of the car, is right there. It's got that big hole, and it's, you know, it's definitely gone. So that piece is going to have to be replaced, you know, at least from here down, and we'll have to go from there. And then on the inner fender wells, we got a little bit of rust right there, but I don't think that's, you know, extremely bad. The quarter panels itself, you come across the top, they're good. Come down to the bottom and the back, and again, we got some bubbling right here, we got some bubbling right there. So that's going to be definitely a replacement there. Some body work to do on that one. Up on the trunk lid, we got the windows and everything like that good to go. We come back to the back of the car, and we got the Pennsylvania tags on it. 7 of 03 was the last time this thing was on the road. It sat in the garage for a few years, and I've been sitting in the field for about the last 10. Since about 2010 it's been sitting in the field. We got some rust here, pretty good rust on the sticker there. I mean, that's definitely gonna have to have some fixing. Same way over here. I mean, this is, you know, definitely some body work there to be done with it. Okay, the last thing I'm going to look at is under the hood. Let's see what kind of power plant this thing has in it. Get this hood raised up here. And this is definitely not a stock engine. So, as you can see, it's got an Elderbrock carburetor on it. It's got aftermarket heads on it. It's got a lot of stuff done to the engine. This is a 355 small block engine. It's actually an old pure stock race motor, and it was in this. It's got headers on it, long tube headers. I don't know. Haven't turned it over. Haven't really messed with it that much to see if it will turn over or see what's going on with that. We'll get into that at a later time. But it is a 355 small block with a 4-speed Saginaw transmission on it. So that should be interesting. And it's got headers, dual exhaust, the whole 9 yards. This is basically a street race car.